Hi guys, today's video is going to be my 26 books I want to read in like 2026 kind of video. I always make these videos like in the middle of the year instead of like in the beginning of the year because I feel like the best books of like the year come out in the middle of the year, or they're announced in the middle of the year rather than in the beginning. I don't even think that any of these books came out in 2026, so like I guess like having this video is pointless. I've talked a lot about like my journey with like reading and writing and just like how I haven't been doing much of it because of college. So like I feel like I haven't really gotten much of like the news of books, but like for researching for this video, I started like researching it. For my last year, I did this last year, and the books I chose, I think I read like at least half of them. Well, I think I read around half of them, or at least I read a book by the author so that I could figure out if I wanted to continue reading the author's books or not. So yeah, because there are multiple books from an author in this video because like because like sometimes you just want to read multiple books from an author. So first we're gonna start off with the two physical books I have. Plus, wait, oh wow, this is bent. Anyways, it's hot up here. I might start taking breaks and just like shutting off my camera, rolling the fan because it's just hot, but at the same time I couldn't stand the noise, so I said okay, I'm not gonna do that. If I do, then that's my business. But yeah, the first book we have is My Friends by Fredrik Backman. So because I have these books physically, it means that I can read it this year. So like these are the most likely to be read this year, like completely, especially because this year where I have been reading like a book a month. So like I don't know if all of these books will get read, but I'll try. Well, I won't try. Some of them I will. A lot of them I will. Yeah, okay. But yeah. Okay, so My Friends, I don't know. I want to read this book because I liked Beartown by the author. I didn't like two of his books. I didn't like A Man Called Ove or Britt Murray Was Here. But like I don't know if I like this one or not. This one is about like I think there is this person in the future. Well, she's not the future. Like person the current timeline who's like maybe an art collector, something about art. She finds this painting, I think it's a famous painting or something, and then we go into the past, and I don't know if we go into the past, but anyways, then we just like see these friends who are in the painting, and I guess I remember, like I heard the author talking about how it's about this one guy who gets like obsessed with art after seeing it in like one time and stuff. So that's all I really know about it, but all I know is that Fredrik Backman wrote a Beartown, and that's why I want to read it. The next book we have is After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book is about these people who are married, and they're thinking of just like not being in a relationship anymore, so they go on their separate ways and then see if they're gonna come back to each other or not, and if not, then like obviously then not. I have this turned around so like it's not as light or whatever. So that's the book. I want to read this book because I'm trying to read all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books so that I can make a video on her. The other book by her that I guess we're just going to be putting over here, or over here. Let's put it over here. Let me scoot over maybe. Yeah, let's scoot over and then we'll put it over here. Okay. And I have like my list down here. Okay, so we have Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Again, for the same reason, I want to make a video about Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. Forever Interrupted is about this person whose partner dies. I don't know if they're married or not. Actually, I think they're really married. And when she's talking to the mom, she realizes that he never told her about her, and so yeah, it's messy. I did really like One True Loves by like. Okay, I like the author's newer books, but like I feel like I thought like when it came to like the romance side of things, I wouldn't like things, but I did like One True Loves, so maybe it'll be good. Then by Fredrik Backman, again, I didn't say those ones yet. We have Anxious People. Anxious People, I think, is one of those books where it's like multiple characters, and we just like follow their lives. Well, no, we don't follow their lives. Okay, let me say what the book's about before I say why I want to read it. So basically, it's like one of those. it's like a book about like this robbery that's happening, and then we kind of just see like everyone's lives, and we just like get sneak peeks into people's lives. I've always said that I like books where you get sneak peeks into people's lives because I'm just like a nosy person. I like to see what's going on in people's houses. So yeah. Then we have my see, I'm just wiping like my forehead and just like everything because I'm so hot, but like at the same time I physically cannot do that, fan. I'm gonna be so mad. So I might have to take a pause soon, but still, let's try this out. Then we have my grandmother asked me to tell you she's sorry. That's such a long title. I was looking like over and over again. No, I wasn't. I was like reading through it, and I was like, okay, like, is the title over? But anyways, this book is about I think this young girl's who grandma dies, and she writes letters to a bunch of people saying that she's sorry. I want to read a book about just like someone going on an adventure and just like whatever. It reminds me of the book that I read. I don't know. I read it not not a few years ago, but like actually like maybe like 4 years ago, something like that. I read it during COVID, and I really liked that book, and like it's giving me those vibes, but like just like I kind of want to like see just like, you know what I mean, like it's also giving the vibes of the 100 Years of Millennium Margot. I feel like that's my favorite book, and I'm always just talking about it. But like just like this, like seeing little stories of a person's life. So I want to see that. Then we have, then we have the Normal People by Sally Rooney. I feel like Sally Rooney. I read, what is it? Conversations with Friends. I really like the depression representation in that book, and I've been looking for books with good mental health representation, and like I think Normal People is going to have that. I don't know what Normal People is about. All I know is this is that it's about a relationship. I do know like the ending, because people have spoiled that, but like I don't really know exactly what it's about. Then I want to read Intermezzo by the author. Intermezzo is about brothers who are dealing with grief, and then also they have like their partners. Like there's like this classic Sally Rooney style where it's like there's like a relationship in it. There's like some mental health representation in it. There's like what else? I don't know. There's just like things that it's just like once you read one Sally Rooney book, I feel like you kind of just like you don't know the rest, but it's like you kind of have a feeling for what the rest will be. So there's that. Then we have Homeseeking. I want to Homeseeking. I is about like this decades long romance thing. They meet when they're kids or something. And then like the guy goes off to war, and he says like, oh yeah, I'm sorry in this letter, and then we just see this like decades long, like it's not a romance, it's like, well, it is romance, but it's like a decades long, like, what is it, it's kind of like, what is it, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, like, you know, one of those types of books where it's just like you see them like being separated. What is this called, like they're separated, but it's kind of just like this regret and just like all that, and then just them like maybe coming together and then falling apart and just like all that. So it just seems like a fun book for something like that. Then we have Minor Black Figures. This is, oh, I forgot, Brandon Taylor, is that his name? Brandon, did I bring my phone upstairs? I don't think I did. Okay, this is the first book by, is it even Brandon? Am I saying words and just saying names? Okay, I'll put the author's name up here, but like it's the first book by him that I have wanted to read. I feel like he has published like a good amount of, like 3 books, you know what I mean, and it's like I feel like he's just like a black literary fiction writer that I just like want to read, and especially because he writes like contemporary literary fiction. I feel like that's just like not that like common for people. I feel like most people write like historical fiction, historical literary fiction, but like to see a contemporary literary fiction writer, it seems fun to just like, I don't know, go in and just like read about that and stuff. So I want to read it for that reason. And well, no, I don't want to read it for that reason. I want to read it because this is like the most interesting book by him that I think there is. This is about this guy. He's having this conversation with this other guy. And then I think they're like gonna date or something. And then we also are seeing him in his job where he's uncovering this like black art thing. I'm also like really interested in the fact that it was called Brand. I feel like I'm not saying the name right, or like the right name. So like, I know it starts with the B. But yeah, I feel like his book is always was called have something to do with art, and I just like want to read about that. So yeah. Then we have on Arthur Briefly Gorgeous. I've had this on my TBR for such a long time. Like I want to read it so badly. Like it's about this this guy who is writing love. Wait, no, not love letters. Letters to his mom who can't speak English, and like basically he's just talking about that, and it's just like it seems like such a good read, but it's just like I just have never picked it up. And it's just like a classic, like not a classic, but like a classic as in like one of those literary fiction books where you have to read it. So there's that. Then we have Martyr. I feel like every time I don't even know what Martyr is about. Like all I know is I think it's about the past, and I think like they say like oh yeah someone shoots like the sky or something, and then someone falls, and it's just like something bad happens. It's like every time I read the synopsis, I'm always just like, I want to read this book, but then I just like never read it because I'm always just like, okay, what's it about? Once I'm like getting ready to like get it, and so like yeah. Then we have Dear Edward. Dear Edward is about this guy, this little boy who is in this plane that crashes, and he's the sole survivor. It reminds me of Manifestation that I watched like a couple years, not even a couple years, probably like 5 years back. 5 years probably, yeah. And basically it just seems like an interesting concept, and just like yeah, just an interesting concept, so why not. Then we have by the same author Hello Beautiful. Hello Beautiful is about this marriage. That's all I know about it. It's by the same author. I'm not as excited as Dear Edward, but like Dear Edward will determine if I will read Hello Beautiful. Because it really matters about like writing style. That's why sometimes I have like two books by an author, because it's like both of the concepts are interesting. Because like obviously when it comes to literary fiction, it's like you kind of write the types of books I like or you don't, and then it's just like it's very rare that it's just like I only am interested in one book by an author. So but it's just like it really depends on your writing style, which will like make or break the novel. So we have that. Then we have Ordinary Saints. Ordinary Saints is like this queer novel. I want to build like a queer novel thing so I can have like a recommendation video. But it's like this thing about like this girl's brother dies, and like I think her parents, like she's grieving that, and she goes back with her parents, which I think they're homophobic or something. It's something to do with religion too. Yeah, I just want to read it because like I was writing a book about religion and stuff, so like that's why I wanted to read it. But it was also just like, like an interesting book. I'm gonna stop now because like apparently I only have one more minute on my SD card. Is that what it's called? Yeah. So like let me do that. I'm sorry. I'm surprised that it wasn't the heat that got me. I'm back, but my camera's about to die anyway, so there's no reason for that. Anyways, the next book we have is Convenience Store Woman. This book reminds me of the book that I'm writing, Therapy Confessions, or like whatever the new Therapy Confessions is called, where we have this woman who's like 30 years old. Like she started this job when she was young, and she's like now 30, and like she still has like the same job as this retail job. I don't know if it's a grocery store or whatever it is. And basically that's the story, I think. Yeah, and it's like my story is kind of like similar, where it's like we have this girl, well not this girl, I always say like girl, and I'm not talking about like a child, so I'm just like okay, like this young woman or whatever, yeah, who's just like at this store for such a long time because it like brings her comfort. Like the store brings her comfort, and just like she has social anxiety. I don't know what it is for like the convenience store one, but it's just like it feels like it would be a comp to that book, so I want to read it for that reason. Then we have Hot Stew. Hot Stew is okay, we have this landlord who is evicting, wait no, yes, everyone from this apartment, I think, or they're destroying this apartment. Something has happening to this apartment, so everyone has to leave, and basically follow each character. Again, this is one of those series where we follow just like we get into each character's houses. That's why I always say like it's just like getting into like I want to see what's happening in other people's houses. That's just like what I always say when it comes to these types of books, where it's just like I want to get into like different characters, just like minds and just like what's happening in their house. And yeah, like I just want to see what's happening in there. Then we have Good Material. Good Material is about this guy who's gotten broken up with and he doesn't know why. And he's like 30. This book, why did I want to read it? I don't know why I wanted to read this book. I don't know. It's on the list. It's like I think I was hearing good things about it. Or no, I was just hearing things that I liked about it when I saw the reviews. I don't remember what the things I liked were, but like I remember sitting down going like, yeah, I want to read that book after other people have like read it. And I don't think they were all positive reviews, but I was like, okay, if I read that book, I'd like it. Then we have Talking at Night. This is a book that like I feel like this is like a Sally Rooney type of book where we have this like couple who or like not the Sally Rooney. I always say like it's like a Sally Rooney book where it's just like this couple and then just like whatever. But it's like this I guess couple who they stop being a couple maybe, or I don't know really what happens with it, but it's like a couple book. Imagine Sally Rooney but vibes. I don't exactly know what that means, but like if I do like the Sally Rooney book, then like I feel like I'm like doing all these things like I'm gonna like a Sally Rooney's book, but like if I don't, then I'm like if I don't like it for like the love aspects of it, and it's just like mostly the mental health aspects of it, which I just like that's really what I liked about Conversations with Friends. If that's like the reason why I do or don't like it, then like then I guess that is it. But like yeah, like I don't know if I like Sally Rooney's book or like the one book I read from her because of the mental health or if it was because of the relationship too. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But like I think it's a Sally Rooney-esque book. Let me replace my camera's battery and then I'll be back. Okay, so then we have by the same author, People in Love. It comes out this year, I think. And that book is about these. It's about this girl. Okay, I always say girl, but like they're not a girl. Okay, yeah. So she's like she's a young lady, I guess. I don't know how old she is. But she's getting married to this guy, and then like at the same time, I think her ex comes back or something, and this is like the person that she had like an on and off relationship with, or she just like had a relationship when she was younger. It's reminded me of One True Loves, and I did like One True Loves. If it weren't a romance, I always say like if One True Loves was not a romance, it would have been so much better. But I still really like that book, and so it's giving me those vibes. So like I want to try it out and see, what's going on with that one. Now let's go on to the other page. What is this? Then I want to read Deep Cuts. I think Deep Cuts was popular. If it wasn't, then whatever. This book is about this musician, and I think it's the guy that's the musician. And then like basically this girl is kind of just like following him around. She gives him an idea that like I guess starts his career, and then we just kind of watch like this relationship. It's giving me like Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow vibes. Haven't talked about that book because it was a 5-star for me. But like it's just giving me those vibes, and it's just like honestly I feel like the books that are really popular and like the books that the romance girlies just like hype up are always the best books. Like I don't know what it is about them. I feel like they know how to pick a book. So yeah. Then we have The Queen's Gambit. I watched the like TV series. I don't know if I want to read the book after watching TV series, but like I wanted to put it on this list because like I have been wanting to read the book, but I guess since I've watched the series, I might not have to. The next book on the list is The Hustler by the same author, and like this book is gonna like this is like I guess a book I want to read, and it's like depending. Either I'll read The Queen's Gambit, see the style. If I like the style, then I'll just like read the next book, or I'll read The Hustler, and if I read The Hustler first, then I don't think I'll read The Queen's Gambit. But anyways, The Hustler is about this guy. Okay, it's about this guy who plays, I think, pool. I just saw pool on the like thing, but like it sounds like a more like a different game, but like I read it as a different game, but like it looked like pool or something. I don't know what it is, but like he basically like tells people like, oh yeah, you can win like this, if you like go against me in like their game of pool or whatever game that they're playing, and then they like are tricked by him, and then they just like do it, and I guess they lose, and it's just giving me the Queens of the Gambit vibes, except like I guess whatever this new thing is, and I just like how this, like I don't know if I'd like this author's style or not. I just watched the TV series and I was always interested in it because I remember I used to watch the edits all the time, which I realized that when I was watching the edits that the couple that like everyone was talking about wasn't actually a couple, and I was like, okay, whatever. But yeah, I just like the fact that this author, who knows if I do like this or not. I think this also has a movie or a TV series, like highlights these like random things, and so I like that. Then we have Luster. I feel like Luster is always on my list. Luster is just like this black literary fiction book that I feel like if you're a black literary fiction reader, you have to read, because like it has been talked about for like a long time, and it is basically about this person who dates this guy who's in an open marriage, and she basically becomes this role model for this like kid that they I think adopted or something, this black kid that they adopted, the husband and wife. And I'm not usually a fan of like affair books and like older men and just like, you know, all those random things that I just feel like is like a staple in the literary fiction space, but it's black literary fiction, so like this like I think a black literary fiction staple, so like I feel like whether people hate it or love it, I feel like they have read it, and it's just like a popular book, so I'm just like into the popular books, so why not read it. Then we have Lonely Crowds. Lonely Crowds is another book about this young woman who is following her girlfriend who is in this art career. It's like another like, you know what I mean, like relationship book where one character is following the other, like deep cuts, I guess. But like she's following her girlfriend and she's like basically a bum. And yeah. And then we just like follow the relationship. Another book where I said it's the same thing as deep cuts. I think I like these types of books. So yeah, like where people are, I just like I like these like I don't know how to describe these types of books, but I like them. Like the Taylor Jacob Rees-esque books. That's what I call them because that's like the first books where I saw this was used in, and just yeah. Then we have Pachinko. I feel like Pachinko, I don't think I'll get to it this year. It's way too big of a book. I have been like in this not a reading slump, but like I don't know, I'm trying to focus on writing, and even if well, okay, I haven't been focusing on it, and I've been reading like a book a month, and I just like if I read this book, it's going to take like 3 months or something, and it's like I just don't think that I can do it this year. But like Pachinko was about this person who gets in this I think arranged marriage. Maybe I might be making that up. Something about some marriage or something, and then we just like follow the aftermath of that. Yeah, something like that. Then we have the last book on this list, which is not even literary fiction, and it's Razor Blade Tears by S. A. Cosby. Yeah, I think so. Something Cosby, S. Cosby, something. Okay, so this book is about these two dads who had gay sons, and they're trying to get revenge for their sons, and it's just like it seems like a really sad book, and I just like the sadness of it. I don't really. I was looking at Storygraph, seeing the genres. I don't even think it's like literary fiction at all, but like it just seemed kind of like it, and I just like. I'll read it. Like I don't know. I feel like I need to read a S.A. Cosby book because like I feel like every black reader has been talking about his books. So why shouldn't I read it? But yeah. Yeah, those are all the books, the 26 books that I want to read. Not just in 2026, but just like in general. It's just like updated, just like books I want to read in general. But like we're doing 26 for because it's 2026, but like at the same time I don't do it at the beginning of the year. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.